Run.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of On the Run. And it is the penultimate episode of On the Run from Macau. Yes, it will not be long. Excuse me for reaching over there. It will not be long until I am out of Macau and on a nice big long run. Next week will be the last from Macau. Then the following week will be from Hong Kong, and then the following week from ye old London town. And we will tell you more about that later on in the video. So let's get into it. So Friday last week, Macau visitor arrivals for the previous day, for the Thursday, hit 40,000. Same on. Very, very good. So Macau is back. It is pumping, and we'll have a little bit more to say about that a little bit further in the video. On Monday, we had a story that the former chairman of the 13, Peter Coker Jr., was arrested in Thailand for market manipulation. Wow, what a sorry saga that the 13 property was and has been over the years. It's a bit of a white elephant just sitting there. Nobody knows what to do with it. And yeah, well, let's see. What else on Monday? Oh, yes, we had Thailand. The Thai House of Representatives approved a casino report, and this is not approving legalizing gambling, legalizing casinos, but it is approving the report and then proceeding that to the next stage. So it will require more study. They said it can't happen in the next 2 to 3 years, but the report said up to 5 casino properties throughout Thailand, with Bangkok and that eastern corridor where Pattaya and Rayong are, would be the most suitable areas. So can you imagine a big Marina Bay Sands style property in Bangkok? It would be huge. They have said that casinos would only have a maximum of 5% of the floor area of the resorts. An entry would, of course, be open to foreigners. And as far as locals go, it would be locals 21 years and older, of course, but there would be a requirement that locals had at least 500,000 baht in their account for the previous 6 months. They would have to prove that. So 500,000 baht is about 15,000 US. So not a particularly onerous requirement for the customers that you would want at a property like that. Also on Monday, we reported that there were over 50,000 visitors per day on the previous 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of last weekend. So that's really getting back up there. I mean, the 2019 average was 108,000, and some of those were sort of tire kickers that didn't really play. So we're really, really getting up there, and revenue is reflecting that. So that is great news. A really big comeback, a really big bounce back. Mass revenue now is well over 50% of what it was before, pushing up towards 60%. And let's see how, excuse me, let's see how all that plays out. You know, is this just a release of a huge amount of pent-up demand? Let's see. Or is this the new normal? We won't really know for a few months until things settle down. But the analogy I use is that we've had a hose. The hose has been turned on, but somebody's been holding the hose. And now we let go of the hose. All the water is going to rush out, of course, isn't it? So is that what we're seeing right now? Remains to be seen. On Tuesday, IAG released the 2 official videos of the Power 50. So if you're interested in the Power 50, please go and check those out. And the week before, we actually released 986 official pictures from the Power 50, which of course was held at City of Dreams Manila last year on the 4th of November. And save the date for this year, Friday, the 3rd of November, 2023, will be the 16th Asian Gaming Power 50. So put that in your diaries. Now, what else have we got here on the rundown I'm looking at? Oh, yes. Well, of course, Wednesday, Suncity's Alvin Chau sentenced to, wait for it, 18 years in prison. that's more than a lot of people saw coming. And that's a really, really big message being sent, that the days of the old style junket, the revenue share junket, the junket that was just as powerful as a casino operator, if not more, those days are gone. So both Mr. Chau, and later on in the day, we published an article giving the fates of all 21 defendants in the case, of which Mr. Chau was just the first. And 13 of those 21 defendants were found guilty with up to 15 years in prison. We had 8 of them got substantial prison sentences between 9 and 15 years, and 4 of them, obviously much more junior or felt to be much less culpable, received suspended sentences of between 5 and 7 months. And and of course some were acquitted. So that's the upshot of all that. Of course, Alvin Chau will appeal. There's no doubt about it. Whether he's got very little chance or whether he's got a lot of chance, he would be mad not to appeal. So we'll see that play through the courts. But it means he will not be out. Let's see, he's been in there for a year, basically, a little over actually. So 17 years from early 23. Oh my God, that's 2040. That is a long time. Okay, let's move on. Well, that's basically all the news from the past week. We will see you at ICE London. Yes, that's the next big thing IAG is doing. So as I say, Chinese New Year, still in Macau for me. I'll be over to Hong Kong on the 29th, I think it is, of January, staying in Hong Kong from January 30 to February 3. And then flying over to London, in London from February 4 to the 10th. And we're going to be it's going to be huge ICE, absolutely massive. We, of course, are the Asian lead media partner, IAG is. We have a booth there, booth ND7C. Please come and see us. There'll be 4 of us at the show. So, book in. Let us know if you're coming to ICE, you want to come see us, reach out to us and let's book in a meeting. We would love to see you. And then after London, I'm actually having the joy of heading over to Paris. February the 10th to the 13th, I plan to be in Paris visiting some French casino company owners, and then heading down to Australia. So the plan is to be in Melbourne, February 15 to 19, then in Sydney, February 19 to 25. So if you are in any of those cities and you want to meet up, just reach out to me and let me know. After Sydney, I'll be back to Melbourne, then I'll be down to Hobart, Adelaide, Perth, so doing quite an Australian tour, then up to Singapore, KL, then down to Phnom Penh, is the plan. Sihanoukville, want to go down and check out what's happening in Sihanoukville after all the changes down there. I've heard it's got much better. And then over to the Philippines. And I'll be over to the Philippines doing my Q1 run to the Philippines. I'll be at Manila, of course. Plan to pop down to Cebu for a night or two to check in on New Star maybe, and then head up to Clark and look at the Clark properties before finally returning to Macau. So if you're in any of those places and you'd like to catch up with IAG, please do. Well, that is On the Run for this week. We'll see you next Friday from Macau, the last one from Macau before the big Q1 run begins. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves and see you next time. Bye for now.
Run.